Thank you, everybody. I want to welcome you to this wonderful occasion, and we're simply thrilled to have you to join us as we launch Breathe Again TM. It's an incredible initiative, and it's sanctioned by the Maharishi Foundation. It's a phenomenal answer to the recent heightened racial injustice and social unrest that we've all been experiencing. Our deepest desire is to reach out our hand to help Black Americans simply breathe again. We'll be doing so by providing the evidence based technique of transcendental meditation and its lifetime support services. TM is a simple technique, it's easy, it's practiced twice daily, and it provides deep rest, releasing stress, and it results in better health, greater energy, and increasing mental clarity and a deeper enjoyment of life. So we look forward to illuminating more about this initiative and the benefits of TM in this exciting hour, highlighted by the music of Grammy nominated singer songwriter Patrice Rushen. And today we're going to have with us Capitol recording artist Sherry Brown, who will be premiering her new video, I Choose Love. More importantly, we are so honored to have with us today the president of Maharishi International University, the national director of the TM organization, Dr. John Hagelin. Welcome, Dr. Hagelin.
Thank you so much, Subangale. I am thrilled to be here, and frankly, today brings me great relief and solace that something like this is finally happening on a good scale. There have been for many years really devoted teachers, especially African American teachers of Transcendental Meditation, and many others who really dedicated themselves to bringing the benefits, really life-changing benefits of Transcendental Meditation to as many people in the community as possible, and also underserved people across the board. But particularly the focus today is to our African Americans, because Black Americans, there's been a wake-up call for many. We've seen it over the past 4 years, but over the past couple of years especially, it has come into focus how much racism, whether conscious or unconscious in some cases, and systemic racism still exists as well in the systems of voting, for example, today, and in other systems, as you all very well know. So that is the problem. It is a persistent problem. I think if you look over generations, you'll see that some of the systemic racism has certainly lifted from those early days of even greater oppression. But the need is great. And this is the time where the awareness of the entire public, even the entire world, watching the United States, is waiting for a solution and waiting for people to step up with answers and to do something that'll really have an impact. And on the political level, of course, there's much that can be done. But on the level of bringing two major things that the TM program can offer, and that's why this idea of breathe again, TM, is, I think, so appropriate and so powerful and so timely. For one thing, in terms of bringing relief, the profound inner silence and the depth of rest and depth of relaxation and the depth of the healing that takes place when one goes to the quiet depths of one's inner self and discovers a reservoir of inner strength and dissolves a tremendous amount of stress and anxiety. This is something that people recognize all over the world. This is something that is being used effectively by the Pentagon and the Veterans Administration to tackle acute stress and post-traumatic stress, the most difficult stress. So that is a powerful tool every human being should have. But those who suffer an additional burden of oppression, who live with prejudice and have lived with it, this is, I think, an extremely powerful tool. And secondly, on a societal level, The reason that racism exists, I'm convinced, is that it is rooted in the narrowness of vision that comes with a stressed brain, basically. And everyone in this age is dealing with stress. In fact, throughout time, everybody has had to cope with stress. And when the brain is stressed, then everything seems to be foreign. Everything is perceived to be more of a threat. And the vision becomes extremely cramped and narrowed. It's called the fight or flight response, where the higher brain is shut down and the primitive brain or reactive brain essentially takes over. And in that state, the whole physiology and brain physiology is focused on survival and fear of others, fear of anyone who doesn't behave like you, doesn't believe like you, doesn't look like you. Different cultures, religions, races, everything is a threat. But what's very powerful about the ancient technique of transcendental meditation brought to us across all these ages, preserved and brought out into the world by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi 5 decades ago, is that it turns the attention within. And in that process, the narrowly focused, very cramped horse blinders, you could say, that everybody has on as a consequence of stress, start to relax as the awareness expands. In the process of diving deep within, we expand consciousness. And when consciousness is more expanded, when comprehension is expanded, that narrowness of vision, which draws differences and creates boundaries where boundaries aren't needed, which brings fear of other, it's just all rooted in ignorance and basically has its basis in narrow comprehension. So for a society, all members of society, exposing people to the expanded consciousness that is available to every human being within, everybody has easy access to with just a few moments or maybe a few hours of instruction, simple, easy instruction. Everybody can relax, everybody can breathe again, and everyone's awareness can expand. And the incredible narrowness of vision that creates sharp national boundaries and cultural boundaries and ethnic boundaries and religious boundaries and racial boundaries, all of that is just basically a disease of the mind. It is the mind's inability to understand what is the scientific fact in this modern scientific age, which is the fundamental unity of life, the fundamental unity of humanity. That is what life is like when the brain is functioning the way it is designed to function. So the beneficiaries of this program, this beautiful new program, which I support with all my heart and all the resources I can muster, is that, yes, first and foremost, to provide relief from those who absolutely deserve and need special relief based on the burden that they have been carrying throughout their lives in so many cases, a burden I didn't experience growing up. But secondly, to elevate the whole society to be a society that is unified. And everyone, I think, agrees today what the United States needs, and similarly the world, is greater unity. And as a scientist, I can say unity is the reality. Anyone who doesn't see the unity of humanity, doesn't experience, doesn't perceive others as identical to, as near and as dear as one's own self, is simply scientifically mistaken. So experiencing unity quietly within, bringing that unity and harmony and love out into your activity as a simple consequence of letting the mind gain the deep rest and letting consciousness expand the way it naturally does when given an opportunity, will be transformational for all Black Americans suffering and for all Americans causing the suffering, and also, I would say, suffering themselves. So I wish you all great luck. It's an interesting coincidence, perhaps, that today's inauguration is taking place on a traditional day in some of the ancient calendars of our world, ancient cultural calendars of our world, like the Vedic calendar. It's called Victory Day. It is a day on which new initiatives are blessed with auspicious success. And I do believe this initiative is well begun, and hence you could say well begun is half done, but also it's so timely and has the support of nature. It has the need of our time and the support, frankly, of millions. These days, we're seeing a shift, and with greater awareness, I'm sure hundreds of millions of people, more or less, hearing about this will say, yes, it is about time. I'm grateful to all those there who have had the initiative and the creativity to launch it, and everybody else who has been supporting in whatever way they can. And I wish you the greatest success, and I pledge my full support and the full support of the organizations that teach Transcendental Meditation in the United States to make it as easy and effortless and successful as possible. I'm going to just be quiet and enjoy your celebration very much. And again, wishing you a great celebration with some fantastic souls and entertainers that I'm dying to see, and then great success moving forward into the future.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hagelin. We deeply appreciate your support and your dedication to overseeing Transcendental Meditation here in the United States. You're doing a fantastic job, and it's night and day in terms of how we have been supported with this initiative and just with all of the focus that we've been wanting to put in bringing TM to the Black community. So thank you again. And in speaking about initiatives, let me introduce you to Jakarta Jacobs. She actually was the brainstorm behind the initiative. Go ahead and tell us more about the initiative, Jakarta.
Greetings, my brilliant, beautiful, gifted beings. I'm so happy to be here with you. And to Dr. Hagelin, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it because it was your words that inspired me on some level. So I'm Jakarta, and many of you know me as Dina Jacobs, Mindset Evolutionary. Breathe Again with TM was born out of the frustration of constant lip service in support of Black lives, while nothing was actually changed. It seems that while the will to do good was there, the sentiments lacked vision and a clear plan in many cases, leaving us in the Black community feeling traumatized, empty, and betrayed. Having only started the TM practice 6 months ago and feeling very inflamed by the George Floyd protests, coupled with the pandemic-related anxiety, it was the practice of transcendental meditation that helped me catch my breath and release my pain. And I was doing this at least once daily, sometimes twice, as my time permitted. But it was a great relief to me. So then on June 23rd, the words of Dr. Hagelin inspired me. Quote, "To our Black students, staff, faculty, and community members, please know that we stand with you, and we pledge to work as allies to support you, to keep you safe, and to create an even more inclusive university." End quote. Now, I was moved, but with a healthy bit of skepticism. So as I closed my eyes to meditate that day, a vision came to me that gave me a deeper peace. 1 million Black Americans meditating, healing, unity. I awoke with a plan and presented a call to action via email to the Maharishi Foundation. And to my surprise and delight, they are wholeheartedly supporting me as we, the executive committee, the Maharishi Foundation, and you, the community, give birth to this vision of a new reality. So I just want to share the mission of Breathe Again with TM with everybody. Acknowledging the existence of generational trauma in the Black community, Breathe Again with TM aims to teach, guide, and empower members of the Black community through the practice of the Transcendental Meditation Program. Breathe Again with TM is dedicated to helping Black people heal. Our objectives: to create outreach and awareness in the Black community of the healing benefits of the Transcendental Meditation Program, to teach the Transcendental Meditation Program to 1 million Black Americans throughout the United States with scholarships and subsidies, to raise funding to subsidize the cost and all related expenses of teaching new members from the Black community, to welcome these new practitioners lovingly into the Greater Transcendental Meditation Maharishi Foundation community of practitioners, to promote TM in schools and for those suffering with PTSD, mental and physical disease, and to encourage research studies on the effects of TM for the Black community. And so I thank you, everyone who's been involved, the executive committee. You guys have been amazingly supportive. And also everyone who is here, we're gonna need you to get out there and spread the word, partake in this if you feel the need. And of course, we need funding, but we're gonna get to some of that later. So I just wanna say thank you guys for being here. And I look forward to meeting each and every one of you at some point and continuing to create this amazing new reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Jakarta. That was beautiful. So now we know how the initiative came to be, and we're going to hear from one of our other executive committee members, Jerome Buchanan. Jerome produced a beautiful video, and so we're going to see the video, and then he's going to share a few words.
Coach, I just want to get better. Stay focused right here. Just right here. Focus on the mitts. Focus on the mitts. Come on, come on. All right, let's go. One more time. Coach, I'm tired. I can't breathe. Don't worry, I got you. I can show you how to breathe again by taking the power from within. On this road to greatness, we will be, have been, and foresee being faced with a multitude of complications. And yet it seems something more than chance is pushing the universe forward. An evolutionary phase change is upon us. We now are the eyes of evolution. And I believe that problems are evolutionary drivers. And even with all that is going on in society today, there will be a time, not so far from now, that we will look back on this phase of our collective experience, and instead of condemning it or beating up on it, instead of blaming or guilting, we will feel appreciation for it, because we understand that a renewed desire for life was born out of this time period that will bring us to heights that we could not have achieved without the contrast that gave birth to what Breathe Again is. My mother would say, the light isn't afraid of the dark. And so let a moment of great darkness become one of our grandest gifts. And as my teacher, Jim Mead, would say, we here at Breathe Again TM are a seed of a world transforming movement. And I like to add that our work is just to provide a fertile growing place in order for it to expand. It's time to breathe again.
Yes, it's time to breathe again. Thank you. So succinctly put, and thank you for your introspection. That was incredible. And the video was quite amazing as well. Thank you. We're now going to hear from one of our mental health professionals who's also on our executive committee, Dr. Rashid Jabri.
Thank you, Samongole, and to everyone, welcome. Black Americans have a history of generational trauma. This perpetual trauma has created deeply rooted stress. Deeply rooted stress has given rise to illnesses such as cardiovascular disease, hypertension, and also impacts mental health. This generational trauma, coupled with the contemporary stress of social challenges and economic strife, had compounded into a very oppressive condition, a condition that chokes off the better quality of life that everyone deserves. No one has the right to suffer. It is time for Black Americans to breathe in the fresh air of fulfillment. There are over 900 scientific studies that show how trance meditation improves the quality of life by dissolving deeply rooted stress. This simple and easy technique is available to stop the suffering. So join us in bringing the gift of inner joy to 1 million Black Americans through the practice of transcendental meditation. A stress-free life matters. Thank you.
Yes, a stress-free life matters. A stress-free life is essential. Thank you, Rashid. That was incredible. And thank you for the work you've done on the committee. Patrice Rushen, who has been a long-term meditator, really wanted to be here today, but she's in performance. But she asked that I read a statement to share her thoughts about TM. And also she wanted and selected a song actually that she wanted us to hear that kind of embodies what TM means to her. So in her statement, she says, you know, there's lots of data that supports the facts on the benefits of transcendental meditation. The emotional, psychological, and neurological positives are all very well documented. Especially during these uncertain times, stress levels, frustration, depression runs rampant. These conditions weaken the spirit, the mind, and the body. So as we learn about what works to keep our human family safe, those who know are called to spread that knowledge, educate, and offer it to those in need who may not know about TM. My personal experience was that TM had a positive difference in my life on levels too numerous to write about. I was curious, and once exposed to TM by close friends, I wanted to try it. That particular TM center was in my neighborhood and run by friends and neighbors in my community, all armed with a connection to their highest good. That connection offers calm, focus, and stress management. These are among the building blocks of greatness, and we all benefit when we learn how to tap into that. So with no further ado, I'd like to share the song that she wanted us to hear, called My Heart, Your Heart.
Where's the laughter? Innocence all but gone. Where's the answer? What have we all
Thank you. That song is so tender. My heart, your heart. All that matters is that we right the wrongs for our children, and it has to be through love. Whew. One of the co-writers on that song was Sherry Brown, and she's going to be with us a little bit later. So we'll get to hear more about that. But for right now, let's turn to one of our other executive committee members, Angelique Fawcett. Angelique?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Sabangale. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us all today on a Sunday. We really appreciate it. Everyone has worked really hard on this initiative. I want to introduce myself. My name is Angelique Fawcett. I'm the CEO of Archangel Films LA. I'm an executive producer, entrepreneur, and I do a lot of things. I'm NAACP member, executive member of Women in Film. And pretty much my job and my life can tend to be pretty stressful. It's just nature of the business. But I've been meditating happily since I've been 16 years old, but it wasn't transcendental meditation. And the one meditation that I always wanted to learn was actually transcendental meditation. So 2 years ago, I was lucky and I met an amazing teacher by the name of Nina Mead, who is on this call, who so graciously taught me TM. And I was so grateful because the benefits of TM has helped me so much. It has brought a supreme quiet, is the best way I can explain it, to my life. And it helps me just have a clear mind with all of the work and balances all of the stress out. So it's been a wonderful experience to be a TM meditator. It's by far, to me, after many years, being 50 now and for all these decades doing something else, it's by far one of the most amazing, actually the most amazing meditation I have ever done. And I'm going to keep with it. But during this time, COVID and the necessary social injustice or social justice that we're having to go through, I wavered in my meditation. I usually meditated twice a day, and I was really steady with it. But then I sat and watched TV as I saw George Floyd with a knee on his shoulder. I heard about and read the story of Ahmaud Arbery running down the street, just like I run down my street, getting shot and killed for taking a run. Breonna Taylor gets killed in her home. Could I get killed in my home? Sandra Bland gets killed traveling from one state to the other to get a new job. Could I get shot traveling, just trying to do my work? And then the worst thing that possibly could happen, which happened prior, was Philando Castile. And that killed me because this is a man who got shot and killed right in front of his fiance and his child. That strong, beautiful Black child sat and tried to calm her mother and father. The pain of watching that was inexplicable. I promised myself at that time that I would not watch another person or Black person get killed again on TV. We all know that this has been happening forever, but now with the world of cell phones, we now see it all. I, as a person who's very strong, and I say that I don't have fear, I had deep concerns for my own self, for going out. And I, at that time, went back to my meditation, deep into my practice, and made sure I got my twice a day in. And the beauty that it gave me, the strength that it gave me to understand, to choose peace and to choose love was amazing, because I had to come to myself and say, this is life, but how am I going to react when I go out there and I'm discriminated against? So TM, again, gave me this clarity, just amazing clarity and an amazing quiet and calm, so that I was able to deal with these situations that we deal with better. And additionally, on top of that, I also had a really bad concussion a couple of years ago, right after I learned TM. And TM actually helped heal my brain, I believe. It was a terrible, terrible concussion, went to the hospital and everything. And TM is actually the only meditation that's been proven to actually heal. So my thing today is, I really hope that you'll take some time and delve into the depths and the benefits of TM and see how it can help you in your life. I really hope it does. I have great confidence in it. I'm really grateful for your time, and I'm grateful for everyone in this group, and Jakarta for thinking of this. idea, and for all the teachers and elders who stay here and help us along this path. We'll get through it all together. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you so much, Angelique. You know, your experience echoes so much of how we all feel. And that's why we're so determined to see this initiative become successful. We have one more executive committee member that would love to share her thoughts, and that is Catherine Melton. Let's hear from Catherine.
Hi, my name is Catherine, and I've been practicing transcendental meditation for about 7 months. Actually, I've been meditating in some form all of my adult life, but when I started the TM technique, I knew that there was something different, and it has been amazing. The benefits are far-reaching, they're immediate, they're profound, and I would say to anyone who is experiencing a trauma of some sort, whether it be just anxiety from loss or stress, fear and uncertainty, or if you just want to feel better, transcendental meditation is just an amazing, amazing tool to have in your armamentarium of, wanting to feel good. So I would recommend it highly to anyone who is looking to change their life, to begin this practice. That's what Breathe Again TM is all about. We want to bring this gift to larger numbers of the Black community so that they can experience a more feeling of wholeness that so many of us has lost over the last most recent months. So I would say transcendental meditation can make a huge difference in your life, and it will.
Thank you, Catherine. Yes, it can make a huge difference. Your words are very, very meaningful. We appreciate it. Besides the launch today of our initiative, we're also very happy to acquaint you with our new website, which is breatheagain-tm.com. And the actual address for the website, as well as our social media, will be available in the chat. So you can go there and be sure to share it with your friends. So let's scroll down a little bit more. First, I'd like to say thank you to Maya and Eric Jordan for their beautiful photo. They are now the face of Breathe Again TM. They're local meditators, and they're actually the daughter and son-in-law of Sherry Brown. Okay, let's move down. And again, this is our initiative, Acknowledging Generational Trauma in Black Americans. So you can take a look at that and get a real good understanding of what we're about. And these are the founding members. You've met most of them, but let's go through them very quickly. We have Jakarta Jacobs, myself, Sibongile West, Rashid Jabri, Jerome Buchanan, Catherine Melton, Angelique Fawcett, Jim and Nina Mead, and Maria Purser. They've done an incredible job and have put in hundreds of hours on this initiative. So I want to personally thank them for all of the energy, thought, and information that they provided thus far. So we have a What is TM page for those of you that are not familiar with Transcendental Meditation. And it kind of gives you, again, another overview that we've talked about thus far. So we don't really need to go into it, but feel free to have a chance to take another look at that. And next, we're going to talk a little bit about the research. As Rashid mentioned, there's literally been over 900 studies on TM. The vast majority of them have been peer reviewed. And it's just very important that we really understand that Transcendental Meditation is one of the most researched meditations available. And a lot of these research studies have been done on Black populations to the effect that actually Dr. Rashid Jabri and myself both taught in a number of these studies at Charles Drew University School of Medicine. So let's look at the first one, decreased blood pressure. Actually, African Americans have the highest incidence of blood pressure than any other ethnic group. On top of that, the medications that are used for high blood pressure are the least effective on Black Americans. So as you can see, transcendental meditation decreases blood pressure considerably. And so to the point that the American Heart Association has said that transcendental meditation is the only meditation that they determine will reduce blood pressure. We're next going to take a look at decreased cortisol. As you can see, cortisol is actually a stress hormone. And when you have reduction in the stress hormone, as you do with transcendental meditation, in fact, 30% of cortisol is decreased when you do TM. You find that the body is able to release anxiety. There is less stress in the system. It allows for a person to have a more positive state of mind. And this isn't the typical positive thinking that we all have heard about. This is just the natural outcome biologically from having stress reduced from the nervous system. And let's take a look at a third. And Dr. Hagelin brought this one up. And this is to reduce symptoms of PTSD. Transcendental meditation reduces PTSD to the extent that within the first 30 days, anywhere between 30 days to 3 months, depending upon the individual, there is a reduction of PTSD. And in some cases, it's even reversed. They have been using transcendental meditation in the military, as well as with PTSD Relief Now, an organization that brings transcendental meditation to refugees in East Africa who have witnessed a lot of horrific war issues. And they have found that for them, literally within 30 days, the PTSD symptoms have been reduced. So we can pretty much gather that this would be the same for people suffering from urban trauma. Okay, we can move on. For those of you that are interested in learning TM, contact us. You can contact us through breatheagaintm@gmail.com. You can go to the website and contact us that way, or you can go to our social media page. If you have any questions, we are right at the ready to be able to answer any questions you may have. And what's even more important is understanding that through this initiative, the TM course fee will be dramatically reduced. They are providing the course at the lowest fee possible, which is $380. That's paid over 4 months, which is $95 a month. If that is a difficulty financially, just simply apply for a scholarship, and a partial scholarship or a full scholarship will be made available upon any funding that we have. So we want to make sure that anyone that wants to learn TM can learn without hindrance of affordability. And we're doing that through donation. So those of you that would love to donate or would like to share with us people who would be interested in donating to help folks that are financially in need to be able to learn TM, please do so. You can come to the website and just simply click on the donate button. It will take you to our donation page. Donations are tax deductible, and the funds go toward the course fee, which covers instruction and our administrative costs. Okay, so there we have our website. And again, if you need to get the address, you can go straight into the chat and it's right there for you. Next, we're going to take a look at one of my closest friends, Sherry Brown, We're so honored to have us here with us today. She is a formal Capitol recording artist. She's a long-term meditator, and she has been writing songs and music for a very long time, primarily based upon her experience and her higher consciousness due to TM. So Sherry, would you like to share some words and then?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here, sharing my space and your space, our space together. I started meditating when I was 16 years old. The TM Center was located in the Leimert Park, Los Angeles, California. And soon that became my stomping ground. I used to play my guitar and sing my song and share the songs, my original songs. They're often, they used to have these talent shows. And I always participated in them. But my involvement with TM and its center was responsible for me being introduced to and to collaborate with other artists that were also meditators. The late Sarita Wright, Stevie Wonder, my friend and music collaborator, Patrice Rushen, just to name a few. So now fast forward 49 years later today, I'm still meditating. Thank God I'm still doing my music. And I'm releasing my first major solo project since I was with Capitol Records 40 years ago. It's called Messages from the Spirit, the Collective. It's an album. But what makes this so special for me is that we're actually doing a sneak preview ahead of time, ahead of our world premiere of the music video for the first single from this album. It's called I Choose Love. And it was written by me and my fellow meditator, Patrice Rushen. It was released this past February for Valentine's Day. Now, this video was filmed in Leimert Park Village, and it took me way back, oh gosh, down memory lane. And it was inspired by social justice issues that Black people have been surrounded with, especially over these past few years. Since the Trayvon Martin incident that resulted in his death, I've been continuing to use this tagline, I choose love. And whenever another incident happened, I would go back to, I still choose love. I choose love. And so this is something that's been plagued with our community, and it goes beyond our communities all over the world. So when I feel like giving up, I go back to I choose love. So this single is available on iTunes and Spotify and most of the platforms on social media. But a portion of the proceeds from this single, I Choose Love by me, Sherry Brown, will be donated to the Breathe Again initiative. I think this is such an awesome and needed initiative. So welcome to I Choose Love.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. There's so much that I want to say, and I can't because we're short on time, but I do want to say just a few things. The first is, when you saw that street in Leimert Park, that actually was where the Transcendental Meditation Center was located, the first TM center in the Black community. And I just want to take a second to thank from the bottom of my heart, Stanley Lewis, who is here with us today. He was the visionary. He was the person that went to Maharishi and asked if there could be a center for Black people. And not only did he create that center, but then we had a teacher training course several years later in Africa. And that teacher training course brought forth another 100 teachers that ended up allowing for about 10 to 20,000 new Black meditators in the United States. This occurred in the 70s and the 80s. And I just want to thank you, Stanley, for your vision and knowing that this is the next phase. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it's so beautiful that women are doing this now, because you are the loves of the world, and you're the people that bring forth all the beings into the world. So to me, it's the perfect perfect expression of phase 2.
Oh, beautiful. Well, we just want to give you your flowers now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I get a
Wonderful. So now we're going to take just a few minutes, about maybe 5 minutes, to have a Q&A. So you have any questions, which you may already do, in the chat, and we'll get a chance to answer a few of them. And anything else that we don't answer, please email us. We're more than happy to answer any questions and share more information with you.
So I was wondering from what Roger Hagelin said, that really this whole problem of institutional racism comes from stressed brains. Maybe we need a second initiative, 1 million Black Americans, and also 1 million of every other color, so that we can really just root out all this stress in all of our brains. So that's my question. Should we have another initiative or an additional initiative? And that's especially if Roger Hagelin is still with us. I'd love to hear him speak on that.
Well, thank you very briefly. Thank you for your question. We have had, a broad brush or broad approach to teaching Transcendental Meditation. Basically, all who come are welcome. And, we've had a good diversity of people come and learn. But I do think of all the peoples in the US that really, I think at this moment, maybe bear the most prejudice and need and deserve some support and relief in this deep and fundamental way. It's our Black Americans, I would say. I mean, we have an outreach that's been going on for Native American peoples, which of course have also experienced horrors and have this is a very unfortunate history there as well. That's been ongoing. There is a special outreach and a wing that has been working on that population, purely charitably. But sure, I just think that when it comes to the general population, the focus of so many teachers is covering that reasonably well. But I do think at this time in the history of the United States, with so many issues of race that have been unredressed and so much wrong that needs to be righted, I think this movement just right here today is the one that is perhaps most needed and will capture the support and imagination of the people. So I might want to focus just a little more sharply on this project, and then maybe we'll continue the general approach that we have had, and hopefully that will take care of everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, because that also kind of helps us get our focus right. Thank you.
First of all, my heart is just imploding with so much gratitude for making this come true and alive. I volunteer at Kaiser Permanente in San Leandro, California. And I know Kaiser Permanente, they are in 8 regions. So how would you advise me? I am at the Member Advisory Council. I definitely will spread the word in our facility, which is I only live a mile or 2 away. And today, I'm so thankful for Dr. Hagelin for mentioning that today is a victory day. We were honored, volunteers at Kaiser Permanente was honored today. And we will have a meeting this coming Wednesday. So this is so appropriate that I will mention it to this region. How would you advise me to spread the word for the 8 regions? There is Northern California, Southern California, Georgia is one. I know Oregon, Washington, I forget the other 3 states. So I need your advice.
Well, one of the things that we can do, if you can send us your contact information, and then we will send you information about our initiative that you could then send to them, as well as our contact information. So then they can call us or we can call them and talk more about it and get a chance to have a meeting of the minds. Yeah, that would be great.
Thank you. Because I have already introduced to the member council the Heal Our Healers Now. So I am so appreciative that they are eyes open. They are so excited to hear more about it. And the Silicon Valley TM Center is supporting me. Michael Yankas is behind me and all ready if they are ready to. So thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
Love and gratitude.
I just want to say really quickly, you can email us at breatheagain@gmail.com. Just to remind everybody, it's BREATHE.
Got it.
GIAINE. I mean, AN.
Yes.
So you can email us there. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, Kaiser has been very strong in terms of meditation in general, and they recommend it. It's one of their standard recommendations. And if we could further their understanding, much as Angelique expressed that she was doing other forms of meditation and found the deepest fulfillment from doing this transcendental meditation. And as Subhangala pointed out, the only one that's really endorsed by the American Heart Association. It would be great with all that momentum they already have in terms of meditation to clarify how precious it would be for the meditation that Kaiser brings to people to be transcendental meditation.
This is just such a wonderful initiative that will lead to many initiations. I was wondering how it's going to roll out across the country.
So right now we're in our infancy stage, so we're primarily focused on Southern California, but we expect that that's going to expand immediately. We are going to be sending out a letter to other TM teachers that we are associated with to give them the template as well as further information to be able to utilize this initiative. So you're definitely on that list, Candace, and you'll probably be hearing from us in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, it's good to see you.
You too.
Hi, my name is Saida. First, I wanted to apologize. I'm conditioning my hair, so I can't have you see that. But I'm a friend of Jakarta's, and I came on to support her. And I have to tell you, this is a really, really wonderful event. I'm so grateful to everyone who has participated and has spoken. And the song just moved me to tears. And I do have a question. I'm a chanting Buddhist. I'm a member of SGI USA, and we chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And I've heard about transcendental meditation as well, but I was wondering if there would be benefits to doing both. Like, does one supersede the other? Like, what would that possibly look like?
We value everyone's meditation, and every meditation has its purpose. We really recommend that you add transcending to your practice. Jim and I actually have taught TM in many places in the world, and there are many, many Buddhist monks in Thailand and in Korea and in Japan that practice transcendental meditation because it's just so effective. I think that you'll find that it enhances your experience with everything that you're doing.
That's great. That's really wonderful to hear. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Saida, for coming.
My pleasure, darling.
I have a question. I'm not sure that I missed anything because I was a little bit late, but I was curious as to what would a volunteer do for the program?
Oh, hi, Karen. How are you?
It's Bangale.
Yeah, we are getting ready to put together committees that will be needing volunteers. It'll be for administrative work, for social media work, of course, all from your home, just remotely, helping us to do some organizing. Fundraising will also be one of the committees that we're going to have. We'll probably expand it a little more, but those are like the main three right now that we are needing boots on the ground, so to speak, to assist us with. So yeah, if you love to help us to volunteer, that's wonderful.
Okay, so I just need to email you that in my info. Okay,
I'll give you a call.
I know. Okay, great. Thanks.
And you don't have to know what you're doing ahead of time. We've proven that.
Yes. Yeah. We're all holding hands and walking this together.
Jai Gurudev, amen to that. Oh, where is that first TM Center, please? What city and what state?
It was in Leimert Park in Los Angeles. Yeah, California.
So Bangale, do you know what year that started?
I think it was 1969. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stanley.
No, you're right. It actually 68 was when we started lecturing.
Okay.
69 was when we actually established a physical location.
Okay, we're going to wrap up. Man, I just so happy that you guys joined us. First, we'd like to thank, in all sincerity, Dr. Hagelin. Again, your support means so much to us, and we look forward to, doing more with this and expanding it, and are happy to have the support of the Maharishi Foundation. Thank you so much. And thank you to Sherry Brown. Sherry, you're always there for us. You've been with us again since what, girl, 1971, 72, and singing and always being available. So again, our deepest thanks. I'd like to again thank the executive committee for all the hard work that you guys have done. And thank you to Jaharda for brainstorming the initiative. And thank you in the audience for being here today. We hope that you are as inspired as we are, and we look forward to hearing from you. Again, reach out to us through social media or through email, what have you. And we look forward to making this work. Everybody that we spoke to thus far about this initiative have jumped up and said, yes, I want to be a part of it. What do I need to do? So we are knowing that this is going to really take off and make a big difference in the Black community. Again, if you can, please donate. Any amount, it doesn't matter. The donate button is located on our website. It's located on our social media page. Please share it with your friends, your network, your family. And again, as Karen had mentioned, you can volunteer. So we would look forward to that. Whatever you're able to do, we appreciate from the bottom of our hearts. So with that, we wanted to say thank you for joining us, and have a beautiful rest of your Sunday.
Bye, everybody. And thank you for being here. And we look forward to working with you all in some capacity very soon.
Very soon. You're so inspirational. Everyone is.
Thank you.